The MoneroTopia weekly news segment is sponsored by WizardSwap.io, a non-custodial cryptocurrency exchange.
Tony.
What's up, guys?
Tony.
Happy weekend. Hey. So, talking about the lateness, it's not lateness, it's just emotional suspense. Like when you go to the cinema and then the movie's not starting yet, like you're there, but there's, a couple ads, like a couple stuff like that in case you didn't get your coffee or, you still get a little bit of time. So it's just like short emotional
It's a good point.
suspense.
It's a good point. Yeah, we want we want the room to fill up before we go.
Yeah. How are you guys?
Good, man. Good. How you doing?
Good weekend. It's kind of hot for January here, and you kind of noticed it when you guys were here. It's kind of hot. Actually, no, I think. How was the weather when you guys were here?
It was hot.
It was hot.
The first day when we arrived, it was cold. It was like freakishly cold for Miami. It was like in the 40s at night.
Yeah.
By the time I got there, it was pretty sunny and hot.
Yeah. So then the next day, the next morning, started to come back, and then by like Sunday, it was like Miami again. It was like hot.
Yeah.
Doug was having a good time at the beach.
Yes.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Oh my God, I love it. That workout area at the beach is like it's just a classic, like fantastic.
Muscle Beach, yeah. That's
it's like a
the
movie
coconut
scene.
guy
Yeah.
was there.
Yeah.
He still has the coconuts for Monero.
Like it's worth going to Miami just for that. You hang out near that. You just work out every day. Like,
yeah,
it's great. It's motivating because there's so many people there working out. Right? It's like very friendly. Yeah. Everybody's helping each other out. Tony, we were hanging out there last time.
Yeah, it was a good time. You got to go in the morning though, because if you go in the afternoon, the bars are hot. And it's just you're gonna get a a stroke. It's so hot.
This is true.
Yeah, but it's very good times. Yeah. All right, so let's get into the news section. We got a lot of good stuff to talk about this week. So let me see.
We got 140 live viewers, guys. Like, retweet, spread the word. Spread the word.
Okay, so let's talk about United Kingdom's leftist government order to create a backdoor allowing access to encrypted data from Apple. So, and then let's go to this article. Allegedly, the UK wants to have a backdoor on Apple and their devices. When they were being asked about it, they didn't comment anything on it. Apple also didn't reply to the request to answer if anything of this nature happened. So I don't know where this came from exactly, but I agree to what this article says, in which if this is actually true, Apple might pull their services, withdraw their services from the UK. And if they don't, and they do allow some backdoor, it wouldn't be just to UK citizens. I bet they will abuse it and just extend worldwide. So, and that would not be good for Apple's business, since they're so privacy focused and centric, allegedly. I don't know. That's what they say. So yeah, we'll see. Maybe if this is actually true, perhaps Apple is going to pull up their services from the UK. Yeah. So that's crazy. Then we have a X from Lola Leeds. She said, Feds run nodes to spy on transactions on indictments, unsealed yesterday reveals. This is why we need privacy protocols. And then there's a screenshot, and it says, as of in or about November 2023, there was an archive Ethereum node located in the Eastern District of New York. Well, regardless, you can see everything you want. So because it's public. So yeah, it's very important to have privacy protocols, privacy tools, and that's why Monero is so amazing. So yeah. Then let's talk about USAID. So they pushed nearly $500 million through a secretive US government finance NGO, Internews Network, which has worked with 4,291 media outlets, producing in 1 year 4,799 hours of broadcasts, reaching up to 778 million people and training over 9,000 journalists. 2023 figures. IN has also supported social media censorship initiatives. This is from WikiLeaks, by the way. The operation claims offices in over 30 countries, including main offices in US, London, Paris. And then let's go to this post. So the APC actually aired a USAID employee's description of the scramble as Doge rolled up to the office and their hurried removal of woke iconography a la the documents burning scene in Downfall. So let's listen to what she has to say.
But Elon Musk's influence is sweeping throughout the administration. It was late last week that the Doge team showed up at USAID offices in Washington and demanded access. USAID employee Christina Dry described the scene.
Doge was in the building. We took down our pride flags. I took out any books I felt would be incriminating. No one was talking. We heard they started taking transcripts automatically of all of our Google Meets. They unplugged the news in the little kitchen galleys. It didn't feel good. And then Saturday, all of the websites went down. And then I lost complete access to my computer.
The fact that she just said all of that, that's so incriminating to herself and the whole thing.
Right. Oh my God.
She just said everything that happened. We took down the pride flags.
It's just amazing to see, to learn about how this is basically just an arm of the CIA. Like, this is what they use to like fund their operations. Amazing that they're shutting it down. Like, major win, major blow to the deep state.
Major. And so it was headed by Jean Bourgault, who used to pay herself, I guess, or still does, $451,000 a year. So that's a very nice salary. She used to work out of the U.S. Embassy in Moscow during early 1990s, where she was in charge of $250 million in budget. But now her IN bio and those of its other key people and board members have been recently scrubbed from its website, but remain accessible at archive.org. It's crazy. And then I have a video of Schumer, who said, if Doge can shut down USAID, next it might be the IRS or intelligence agencies. So let's watch this video.
Also know this is just the beginning. If Doge attacks USAID today, then you can be sure they'll move on to another target tomorrow. Who knows? Maybe it'll be the Postal Service or the IRS or even the Social Security Administration. They could be next.
You just hear people cheering in the background. Yeah!
Also know this is just the beginning.
Oh no, don't close down the IRS.
Yeah. Body said the feds got fed, Boyd. Indeed.
I'd love to hear. Yeah, we got to hear Body's full take on this, because I know, like, obviously, right? Like, what's really going on here? Great to see that they're dismantling pieces of the federal government, and it looks like one that really was active in like running dark ops and like being an arm of the CIA and basically being the control and command center for putting out all the propaganda that gets like dispersed to various media, large media companies. Like even the New York Times was getting funded by these people, like NPR, right?
Yeah, and actually we'll get to it.
This is where I'll let you get to it, but it's just it's hard not to see this as a win.
Yeah, and it's quite impressive how it's just been a month and they've already done so much, and it just makes you think how little they've done in all those 4 years, the Biden administration, and just in general governments around the world. Like, it's quite impressive how much, if they really want to do something, how much they can do.
Yeah,
in a positive way. I don't agree with some stuff. Like I think Trump wants to reintroduce plastic straws. I'm not a big fan of that, but whatever.
I mean, when you're the executive, when you're the president, you could eliminate departments under you, right? I mean, parts of the executive branch if they're under you.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah. It's quite impressive how much they've done so far. Also, it's funny how Elon Musk changed his X description to White House tech support.
Dude, I mean, yeah, he's just like, this is like his dream come true, this guy. He's just having a great time doing it. Just trolling everybody. Trolling the world.
What, he must be the busiest man alive. This guy has 10 kids, the biggest companies in the world, Tesla, Neuralink, and he's now in the government. Oh, that's crazy. But he retweeted. I'm going to say retweet because re-X sounds weird. So I'll just say retweet, I guess, still. A post from Ian Miles in which the US government has paid the New York Times millions of dollars. And Elon Musk retweeted it and said, New York Times is government-funded media. And Ian provided some screenshots of just money being funded to New York Times. And then I wanted to show this article from Newsweek in which they said, fact check, US government did not give New York Times tens of millions. And then scroll all the way to the bottom and they have an indicator of if it's true or not. And it's all the way to false.
Yeah.
And they say how searching for New York Times returns unrelated spending for other institutions that include the words New York in some parts of the spending entry. They include grants to the Research Foundation for the State of University of New York University, and the New York Genome Center, INC. Regardless of whether that's true or not, I still am on the belief that government is funding all these media organizations to just push propaganda. So I'm going to say on the side of they did give money to the New York Times.
Well, they were definitely giving money to media outlets. So
yeah. And it's just social media, like Mark Zuckerberg.
I don't see how,
One last time, he talked about how they kind of pushed them to just be pro-vaccines and all this stuff and pro-masks. So
eliminate them.
Yeah. Now let's talk about, let me go up, Cuprate 2024 Progress Report. So this is awesome. Cuprate is a Monero node implementation written in Rust that independently validates consensus rules and is interoperable with the Monero network. This project has been in paid development for the past 9 to 12 months. And they also have books. So they have the Cuprate architecture book, Monero's protocol book, Cuprate's user book. And in case you're not so technical on these things, and I'm not so technical on these, so thanks to GigaPens, he said in the Reddit comment section that they're basically recreating the already existing Monero node software in a new language called Rust. It's programmed to follow the same consensus rules that the existing Monero node uses. It's essentially rewriting the same Monero node in a new language, clearing technical debt, and adding performance improvements along the way, since they can start from a clean slate. So that's very positive news for Monero. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's a big deal. It's much more efficient.
Yeah, it's a very big deal. Also, by the way, you guys have all the links. So if you want to check it out and look more into it, you have the links so you can check it out. Now, this is a post from Doug. Did friends just effectively ban using Bitcoin, privacy tools, and Monero? The present article is also applicable to any operation carried out through a cryptocurrency with enhanced anonymity or funds routed via a mixer or a cryptocurrency mixing service. And this is why we need the real Donald Trump admin to take action to give privacy crypto tech the green light in the US. There should be no question whether a CEX can list Monero, yes, whether a US citizen can send a Zcash, Xenoproject, FireOrg, Parrot Chain transaction, whether a Tornado Cash dev can publish a line of code. Yeah, absolutely. And then I have Let's
So
talk
yeah,
about
we had somebody. I don't know if he's gonna try to jump on. Maybe he's Random X Explorer. Not Elias. There was somebody that reached out to me that wanted to comment on the fact that France appears to have banned or is taking steps to ban Bitcoin mixers, whatever, crypto mixers, and Monero would fall into what they've described. So if that gentleman wants to jump up. But yeah, we talked about this last night. We did a Spaces on it last night. So Europe is moving and continuing to move in the direction of creating more onerous regulations against privacy tools like Monero, making it harder for people to access Monero. But the question is the Trump administration looking to go in the other direction? And effectively, they already have. We went over the executive order that Trump put out, and it's essentially as friendly as you can be to Monero as possible. It is making that statement that we want to hear come from the executive branch, come from the Trump administration. He's saying it's perfectly legal to use true cryptocurrencies, public blockchains that are public utilities. It's perfectly legal to use them, to access them, for people to use them, for people to hold their own keys, for for companies to use. So it looks like Europe is going, obviously going more left and more against tools like Monero, and the United States is moving in the opposite direction. So while people are kind of like panicking and being like, oh no, what does this mean? I don't know. The way the game theory might play out is there'll be parts of the world that are onerous against Monero, and then there'll be these other parts of the world that aren't, and those are the parts of the world that will flourish. That's where liberty will flourish. And so Monero, as we always say, is kind of the true litmus test as to where somebody stands with regards to liberty. It looks like Trump admin is moving in that direction. So
yeah. So Andy, if you see this, please hop on the show and let's talk about it. Now let's also talk about France's crypto travel rule regulation. So essentially, and I think this was passed in 2020. Yeah, 2020. So essentially, they have this crypto travel rule in France, and the DASPs are required to collect and transmit the following information for both originators and beneficiaries: the full name, address, date and place of birth, nationality, account number, or unique transaction identifier. So yeah, they're totally against any notion of privacy, and Europe is pretty behind when it comes to these things, unfortunately. But that's insane. Like the account number, where you live, what's your name, where you're from, nationality. That's a lot of information. That's all you need to know. It's crazy. Now let's see. Talking about Europe, so the European Union has officially approved the use of up to 4% UV-treated mealworm powder in food products like bread, cheese, and pasta to be sold in supermarkets. You will eat the bugs. Yeah, that'll be. They must put that on the label.
Like I said, America is currently moving in one direction. Europe is doubling down in the other.
I hope that's not true. I don't think that's going to. They must put it on the label, and if so, then people can read. I don't know. I can just imagine people from Eastern Europe seeing that.
They will eat the bugs. I know, yeah, right. Like in Poland, they're not going to stand for that.
No, Romania neither. No, they'll just say they're crazy. No.
Well, listen. I mean, if people want to go eat bugs, go eat bugs. But like, if it's like being pushed upon people, and like there's like incentives, and it's like somehow becoming the thing that companies want to put in their food, that's fucked up. Right?
Yeah, that's messed up.
If it's basically coming through, like programs like the USAID, right? Is like where are these initiatives coming for bugs to be put in the food as a replacement to other protein sources? Is it because of the the carbon emission law rules that are out there, right? So it's like it's ends up being more expensive to use traditional methods, right? Use use beef and meat and dairy. So they want to push people away from what we know to be the healthiest sources of protein with the full amino acid profiles, taking that out of their diet, all to, save the environment, to lower carbon emissions, which we know is in very ways just bullshit. It's used to control people, and doing it away where they're now controlling what food they can eat and altering their diets in a way that's deleterious to them. There's no way eating bugs is healthier than eating steak or dairy.
Yeah, for me it's disgusting. And actually, remember last time we were in Miami and I told you that I don't eat meat? I started to eat meat last year, like May or something. Just because I just kept thinking, why is the government so against it?
Yeah.
And I just started to eat meat again. I mean, I do maybe a day without it or stuff like that, but
right, you're not a big meat eater naturally, right? People got to follow their natural whatever they crave, but I assume you. So how do you feel now that you've been started to eat meat?
I feel good. Yeah, I feel good. My blood work, I do it twice a year. It's good. So no complaints. But yeah, I mean, I read a lot from both camps, kind of. And then my ultimate thing to switch back after quite a couple of years of just not eating it. Just why is the government so against it? I don't find that to be interesting. So I just made a switch just based on that.
That's good.
Yeah.
It's had the Streisand effect.
Yeah. Adam, yes, we're gonna have the price report in a little bit. I have a couple more stuff to talk about, and then we'll go to the price section. Let's talk about now. Let's see. Oh, so that's cool. Hong Kong now officially accepts Bitcoin and crypto as proof of assets to apply for residency. So that's cool. Let's go to this. So Hong Kong government recognizes Bitcoin and Ethereum as proof of assets for investment immigration applications. The thing is, let's see, let's go here. So according to the jurisdiction legislator, Hong Kong's investment immigration program requires applicants to demonstrate at least 3.85 million in assets. That's a lot of money. Once approved, they must invest this amount within 6 months, traditionally in stocks or other regulated assets. Successful applicants initially receive a 2-year visa. Then they have to renew their visa in a 2-3 cycle. So that's
really wow.
Yeah, but so I don't.
It's like that difficult to become a. This is to get status in Hong Kong as a resident. What?
But that's a lot of money. So you need 3.85 in assets, I guess. Anything including Bitcoin and Ethereum now.
Wow.
But then I don't get the part in which you must invest this amount within 6 months. Like what they like in Hong Kong stocks or just
yeah.
Or it needs to be invested in something.
I mean, usually they want you to like buy property, right?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. But they accept Bitcoin, so you can. They didn't say Monero, and you probably don't want to show that you have that much Monero. You're gonna end up on some list. So if you have the Monero, I guess get the Bitcoin, make the transfer, show them a little bit, and then move back to Monero.
Yeah, it sounds like they make you move out of the crypto though. Once approved, they must invest in the amount within 6 months in traditional stocks or other regulated assets. Interesting.
Yeah,
so that doesn't sound very right? It sounds like they force you to sell your crypto. I don't get it.
Yeah, that's like show us your Bitcoin, but then sell it and buy some stocks, some Hong Kong stocks.
What?
Yeah,
this does not sound like a good deal.
Yeah, I don't know. But
trying to force money into the Hong Kong stock market.
Yeah.
Makes sense in a way.
So who's gonna do I don't know. It just seems.
Yeah, and that's a lot of money. Like almost $4 million. That's a lot of money.
And people think it's too hard to get into the United States.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah. Now let's talk about first things first. Alexei Bertsev has been released. This is the Tornado Cash co-founder. That's another huge win for privacy tech. There we go.
Nice.
And Yeah,
So
Roman Storm.
Yeah, I don't know the details of what happened. I mean, so he won the case. Obviously, they let him out. I didn't really dive deep into that.
Yeah, I don't know much about it either. But Roman Storm is petitioning, and this is very important. So he's petitioning the Supreme Court to stop an order that would make him disclose his defense strategy to the government. If he loses this case, the U.S. would become the first jurisdiction to enforce FATF's excessively overreaching Recommendation 66, which would classify any software touching cryptocurrency as a money service business required to employ quasi-AML programs.
We gotta have like Lola on the show. She presented at MoneroTopia remotely, which is amazing that she did. It was so awesome. Would love to get her up here. I mean, she follows this stuff so closely. So I'm a little confused. So the other guy, because they were both Tornado Cash, right? Roman and Sterling, right? They're both the Tornado Cash people, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Then you got what's going on with the Samurai guys, and then you have the Roman. He was the Bitcoin Fog guy. He's currently screwed. They're trying to appeal that. But so one guy got off, and now this guy looks like he might not get off. Like, well, I don't even know what was the difference in the cases. Tux, have you been following that, like the Tornado Cash stuff?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, we got to look into that more deeply. I'm curious.
Yeah, I haven't followed it too closely. I can just assume that maybe Roman was way more involved somehow than Alexei and stuff that they didn't like about the whole process. Maybe that's why he's still on hold and he's not.
Yeah, and in different jurisdictions. I don't even know, man.
Yeah, so I don't know, but one of them is free. So, somebody said release, but just from pre-trial detention.
Oh, okay. So he hasn't even gone through trial. Yeah.
Huh, okay. Yeah, so I guess we'll talk about it hopefully in the next couple of weeks to see some updates on it. And the last thing that I have for this week's news section is Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez talking shit about Elon Musk, saying how he's probably one of the most unintelligent billionaires she ever met. So let's watch this video and comment a little bit.
This dude is probably one of the most unintelligent billionaires I have ever met or seen or witnessed. Which, you can probably even glean that from watching these people on TV. Anyways, all of that is to say is that they don't do their homework. Clearly, like, they're putting 19-year-olds in at the Treasury. This dude is...
I should go run against AOC.
And the danger in the lack of intelligence and the lack of expertise that Elon has. I mean, this guy is one of the most morally vacant, but also just least knowledgeable about these systems that we really know of. But the point is that what that means is that they're going to hit a button inevitably. They are going to hit a button and things can go sideways.
You can't.
One of the smartest, most successful people in the world is one of the least knowledgeable people that we know of. We've determined Elon to be one of the least knowledgeable in terms of how these systems. Yeah, because he's not a systems guy. He's not a freaking genius when it comes to understanding systems. He can understand the most complex systems in the world, but he can't understand the government and how to fix it. Yes, only AOC can fix it.
Where is this button? This button of
fucking
destruction,
absurd.
and can I press it?
I want to press it too. Yeah, you can say, even if, let's say, Elon Musk, according to you, doesn't have emotional intelligence, you can't say that he's not intelligent. He created Tesla, SpaceX, Neuralink. Max M said,
Bitcoin.
"Are you guys worshiping Elon?" No, I'm not worshiping Elon, but you can't say that he's not intelligent. Whether you agree, I don't agree with some stuff he does. With some, yes. I don't trust government, but corporatists are not better. Yeah,
I think Elon's subversive, but he's a reasonably smart person. I mean, obviously.
Yeah, man.
He knows what he's doing, whether he's genuine or not.
Yeah,
he's
I've
gotten
mixed.
tremendous businesses off the ground, right?
Yeah, that you can't say.
Well,
Right?
You could
partially on the
say
back of
he
U.S.
used
taxpayer
funding.
dollars.
Yeah, but he's whatever. He still figured it out and got it up and running, man. Like that takes intelligence. Takes a lot of intelligence. Did he manipulate the system and get money from the federal government? Okay. Yeah. But X, I think overall he's done a fantastic job with X.
Is it actually a W, manipulating the government to get money? That might actually be a win.
Yeah. He's just good at it. Recommend everybody try to do that. Body AO, what does Body say? AOC reminds me of Billy Joel and the waitresses practicing politics as the businessman slowly gets stoned. This is very true. Yeah.
At some point, like I think last year, people were posting love memes between Elon and AOC, which was quite funny at the time. Yeah, but you can't, whether you like him or not. I have mixed feelings about him, but you can't say that he's not intelligent. That's for sure. Yeah,
I love that he's eliminating all these departments in the federal government. So we'll see what ultimately happens, right? He's gonna put AI into the federal government. It'll be running off of his software somehow. I don't know what's gonna be going. You got Palantir sitting there ready to strike. Yeah, there's obviously a lot of bad, but right now we're seeing the good, which is them just eliminating departments.
yes.
The main concern is that the vast elimination of departments are going to save money so they can give it to a specific country in the Middle East.
Oh yeah, that's what's happening. They're
Well, literally yesterday, $7 billion arms deal was sent to Israel on behest of the U.S. taxpayer.
okay.
So, yeah.
How did we not pull up Trump saying that he wants to go build Trump towers in Gaza? How did we not play that?
Oh
clip?
my word!
Okay,
let me see if I can.
Yeah, talk about news of the week.
Yeah,
we saw saw this one coming. By the way, guys, like Trump said this during when he was campaigning. He made multiple comments towards it. He said, "It's a beautiful place, Gaza. Really fix it up. It's a demolition site, but we could put,
What do you guys think about
that? I mean, I think it's pretty disgusting.
Yeah,
it's pretty disgusting.
That we've used the power of the government to go in and demolish, a people, kick them out, and so Trump can go build his buildings. I mean, because that's essentially what it is.
Yep.
Yeah, people get all right. Well, now they're saying this is like because Trump said this. Now other countries are stepping up and saying they'll donate funds to rebuild. All right, was that like?
Well, see, what's gonna happen is that the U.S. is rebuilding. That's better than just giving it to Israel, but it's gonna be given to the. We're gonna use
Israel at that point.
Our money is gonna be used to build it for them.
It's gonna be an extension. It's an extension of Israel at that point. If the U.S. is rebuilt, it's not like little U.S. land. Like, come on.
No. Yep. There's not going to be
Israel already is little U.S. land, right? I mean, so it's yeah. I don't know, man.
And this is in no way an interest of even American citizens, right? Like this is not remotely America first. This is just maybe federal interest, but I think it's primarily Israel's interest.
Right. That's what we need to focus on, right? So if he wants to be Ron Paul or whatever, get out of these affairs, right? You shouldn't be let Israel do its Israel thing. This
is why when I look at Doge now, I'm just like Doge is just a cover so that the U.S. can continue doing more bigger expansions underneath. Be like, oh, we got rid of all this and this and this, but we're also taking over and militarily occupying and rebuilding this entire.
It's also the distraction too, right? Like, look, we're doing this. Talk about you want to get everybody's eyes on something. have Doge just start eliminating federal governments while you're also pitching over here that we're gonna go into Gaza and build Trump Tower, and everybody's like,
And the Buckies.
Trump definitely has everybody distracted because there's just like he's just doing so many different things. You don't know which ones are good, which ones are bad. But the Israel thing is, I don't know,
It's super messed up.
Crazy.
It's messed up, but in the same time, these things are so big, Doge doing what he does and him doing what he does, that you kind of can't be distracted, Okay, Doge eliminated this department. Oh, and then Trump did this big
and I'm
thing
sure
as well.
Trump will backpedal because that's what he did so much in his first term, right? He'd say really extreme shit and then backpedal. Now he's actually getting a lot of extreme things done, but something like this one, I think you're going to see a backpedal on it. Like, well,
there's already a lot of surprising counters to this decision that have been made from people I wasn't expecting, which makes me start to rethink like who's really at benefit with it. So even the Warhawk neocon Lindsey Graham actually came out in opposition to Trump saying that we would send people into Gaza and take it over, essentially. So that's interesting.
What did he say? What was like?
Well, he basically came out in opposition of it, and he said that he doesn't think it's a good idea, and he doesn't think the citizens of South Carolina would like the U.S. to militarily occupy Gaza, which is kind of like, hold on a second, because Lindsey Graham is like always been calling. He's always been obsessed with Israel and thus going to war with Iran. So it's kind of interesting to see him say that. It kind of makes me take a step back and almost think about like who's really at benefit here. But yeah, I don't know if it's gonna happen as easily as Trump says it will. There's actually a lot of Republican opposition, it seems like. So we'll see what happens.
Someone tipped 20 cents. Elon and his gang will ensure that 1984 establishes itself very quickly. What they say is not what they do. It's all about maintaining power and accumulating wealth. The normal American is getting fucked more and more. Yeah.
Yeah, people like to forget that.
The real fight is right against technocracy, right? They're just
which Elon Musk is kind of like pioneering. Yeah. Let's be honest here.
Whether it's the Dems in there or the Republicans in there, the question is technocracy winning or not? And yes, with Trump in there and Palantir sitting in the White House, unfortunately, I can't see how we won't trend towards that. But then you see that executive order that says, "Hey, everybody can use Monero." So I don't know. They're throwing us a bone with that one.
I found the clip. Do you want me to play it? It's the meeting of Netanyahu and Trump.
Yeah, play it.
Yeah, sure.
All right, let me pull this up real quick.
I mean, it looked like Netanyahu's very surprised here, which is interesting too. Like he's using this to negotiate and like mess with Netanyahu.
To go back, the only reason the Palestinians want to go back to Gaza is they have no alternative. It's right now a demolition site. This is just a demolition site. Virtually every building is down. They're living under fallen concrete that's very dangerous and very precarious. They instead can occupy all of a beautiful area with homes and safety, and they can live out their lives in peace and harmony instead of having to go back and do it again. The U.S. will take over the Gaza Strip, and we will do a job with it too. We'll own it and be responsible for dismantling all of the dangerous unexploded bombs and other weapons on the site, level the site and get rid of the destroyed buildings, level it out, create and
Netanyahu does not look like he was aware of this.
Unlimited numbers of jobs and housing for the people of the area. Do a real job, do something different. Just can't go back. If you go back, it's going to end up the same way it has for 100 years.
He's like, oh shit.
He's like, oh, we're doing that now. All right.
That's what some people pointed out, but I think it's still kind of like that. That might actually be like you might be happy about that. Be like, oh, the U.S. is going to build this place for us. Whoa, that's So, yeah, it's stupid. There's absolutely no reason we should be doing anything over there. And Trump says, "Oh, it's going to end up exactly the way it was if we just let them back there." Well, it's like, okay, who kind of caused this, in the first place, right?
Is it true he gave Trump a golden beeper?
Yes, he gave Trump a real pager and then also a golden pager.
Oh, he gave him a real one too.
Yeah, he gave him a real one and a golden one. Trump's gonna, yeah. Either that was like really.
So like
really,
if you mess with us, we're gonna blow up your pager. like what's going on there?
Either that was a really sick joke between friends, or it was a threat. There's no other way to interpret that.
Yeah, like why would anybody take a pager from the guy who just blew people up with pagers? There's no way that's incredible. Why do you give him both? Why do you give him a regular pager and a golden one?
Because the real one's got the bombs in it. Gold one's just for like no, because that one's not for use. That one's just to look pretty, sit at the desk. The real one's for personal use, to be on you at all times.
Crazy. That was bizarre. Did Trump say anything in reaction? Most beautiful pager.
Not that I saw.
Most beautiful beeper.
And did you see the clip of where Trump pulled out and put the chair back in for Netanyahu as he was sitting down? It looked so subservient, the way in which he was doing it.
No, I didn't see that.
Oh yeah, I saw that. That was odd for Trump to do that. Has he done that to any other?
I don't think so.
Male? Like, is that a thing?
It looks. It looked like like such a subservient thing. It's crazy.
He was being a gentleman, but it's not really like Trump to do. I don't know. Maybe it is. I don't know. The greatest tip, 25 cents. I don't mean to whine too much about politics, but who from the Monero community would Doug nominate to run for Congress? I don't know. Not Vic. Yeah, no, I don't think Vic ain't running for Congress. He's not wasting his time doing that shit.
Vic doesn't have time for that.
It's got to be like a sucker like me, like when I did it in 2020. It's not something that it takes a crazy person. You got to be a little crazy.
You got to be a psychopath.
Yeah.
Or a sociopath, at least.
You do. That's why I really wasn't. When I got to the end, I was like, "Oh man, what happens if I actually win?" I was like, "This is gonna be." I was like, "I want out. I don't want to win." It's a weird thing.
Make sure all these super chats are read. This one, 25 cents from Big Dick America. Audit the IRS and then abolish it. So true, Big Dick America. And we've got JJ, tip 25 cents. I appreciate all the work you guys do. Monero Talk is a brilliant podcast. Thank you so much.
Thank you, man.
Thank you, JJ. Well,
yeah, I think we got one more here. Gray Popin tipped $1. To tip the workers directly, you may now donate towards a tuxedo at his site. I honestly think getting him a tux will improve the content. It's okay, guys. You don't need to give me money for a tux. There's much more worthy causes to be donating money to.
Pull
I
that kudo
appreciate
up, though.
the sentiment.
Let's see it. Let's see if people are going to donate. That's funny.
Let's see. Wait, actually send a link. I didn't even look. Can't really copy links from here.
Trump is definitely selling access to the golden pager number. Yeah, we got to hook him up with XMR chat. So you pay Monero to send Trump a text. And he gets it on his golden
Okay, so
pager.
apparently there's two. For some reason there's two. I don't know who actually created this, so please do not donate to these because I have no idea where this money is going, and there's two of them. And once again, there are much better causes for you to be putting your money towards. But yeah. Thanks for I appreciate the sentiment. Oh, I'm not even sharing my screen. Oops. There we go. There's one and there's two. I don't know why there's two of them, but there's two. Tuxedos are expensive, but But once again, I don't know who this is. I don't know where somebody's going.
I like the low quality picture that the person just put in it. That's funny.